Hi, everybody. It's Moshe Fried, and I want to show you a really cool and simple way to make sure that each and every student is seen and heard every day. We know how important that is. And in fact, there's research that suggests that ignoring kids' efforts is almost as discouraging as actually destroying their effort. And we know how discouraging that is. So as a social worker, I noticed that this was happening, and I've created an app that makes it super simple to keep track. And I want to show that to you. So I'm going to jump into the share screen here. And here is the ClasStars home screen. This is what it looks like after you log in. You download the app from the app stores. The links are in the description, and you can get this for free. Here is your demo class. You'll see this as soon as you log in, register, sign in with your Google account or Facebook account, and let me show you how quick and simple it is. Here is everybody in your classroom. I'm going to be using the mouse, but obviously you're supposed to use your finger. It's a lot more intuitive that way. You hit the apple here, the start session. Okay, and now we're going to title this class, Make Sure Every Student is Seen Every Day. Okay, that's the name of this class. We're going to start the session. And the first thing that we do when you start a class is take attendance. The way we take attendance is super simple. The class is set up, the way your class is set up, you can customize the seating chart. I'll show you that in another video. Here's everyone, and everyone is assumed to be here because typically that's the way it's supposed to be. If anyone is absent, you just tap on their picture and their picture will fade and they will be marked absent, just like that. Simple as that. If you tap a second time, they'll be marked late, and a third time brings them back present. So let's just mark 2 students absent, 1 student late. Then when you're done, you end attendance. At this point, you have the option to check homework, go to class, or continue attendance. Let's go to class. Okay, the first question people ask me is, what if Jocelyn or Norman come in late? So if you double tap on Jocelyn, you get this little wheel pop up. It can either mark her late or mark that she wasn't absent at all. Let's mark her late. And now she's got the same L here as Valentine. Okay, now every kid needs positive feedback every day. And you'll notice that there's this little green meter here. Jess has some yellow and green. Kristen has some yellow and green. Darwin has more green, a little bit less yellow. Norman, who's absent, actually has nothing here. His meter here is empty. Valentine's got only yellow. And the way this works is that when you give a student positive feedback, you swipe up on them, just like that. And you see that little green notch popped up. And swipe up again, you get another notch. As you go through the room, swiping up on kids, making sure that kids have positive feedback. Let's bring Norman back in so we can see. Mark him late. Okay, just like that. Norman has nothing here. When I swipe up on Norman, he gets that 1. Once I swipe up on a kid who was absent, who came in late, after 5 seconds, the L goes away because now I've already engaged him. The L will stay until you engage that student. And this way you could see exactly which students have been engaged, which have been engaged more, which have been engaged less. This is a 2-day positive feedback meter that lets you know who needs your positive feedback, your encouragement, your support the most, based on who has gotten the least in the last 2 days. That's number 1. Number 2, what's super important is that the kids that are struggling need even more positive feedback. So if a student misbehaves, you swipe down on them. Okay, now you'll see that little L disappear after a couple of seconds because I've engaged her in a negative way. You'll notice that some kids here have orange border colors around them, others have yellow. Okay, now the border color reflects the ratio between up swipes and down swipes. When you swipe up, when you start out, everybody has blank border colors. There's no colors at all. If the first swipe is a swipe down, it'll be a red border. That means that there's more swipe downs than swipe ups. And that's not intended to penalize the student. That's in order to remind the teacher to catch that student being good. That's a student that needs more encouragement, more support, and you need to give them more positive feedback to offset any biases that may develop. When it gets back into a neutral color, as you're swiping up, it'll turn orange, and it'll stay orange until you get to a 3-to-1 up to down swipe ratio, positive to negative ratio. That's when it'll turn yellow. If you continue giving positive feedback to the student, and obviously this meter goes up, we have 7 notches on the meter. So once you hit 7, it'll still be recording, but you know that student has gotten a very healthy amount of encouragement. When you get to a 5-to-1 ratio, it turns blue, the border color does. When you get to a 7-to-1 ratio, it turns green. So you can look at this screen and instantly see which students need your encouragement, which students need your support. Okay, now what's important about this is that this is not earned. This is not a point system that you need to get questions right for. This is an entitlement that every kid needs to be seen and heard. And there's some kids that need to be seen in a positive way. It's not enough to see them for the trouble that they make. It's not enough to see them for their struggle. You need to engage them in some kind of positive way. You can also, as you're swiping up, by the way, record on a scale of 1 to 5 the intensity of the up swipe. And the same thing if you record a down swipe. You can record how disruptive that was, because that's where you could see progress. Also, as you're getting less frowny faces, it's less disruptive. That's progress too. And that's something that you can then encourage and give positive feedback for. So the goal here is to make sure that every student is seen each and every day. Of course, when you're done, you hit the leave class button. We'll close the session. You come back to your dashboard screen here, and we'll talk about that in another video, but that's how ClasStars makes sure that you see each and every student every day. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Reach out if you have any questions, and good luck. Take care.